Today we're going to talk about a book that tried really hard to be the Hunger Games. This is 5 Minute Books. I'm Garrett Robinson, independent co-author of the Realm Keepers series. Welcome to 5 Minute Books, where we promise to tell you everything you need to know about popular books in 5 minutes or less. Each week we'll alternate between the #1 best-selling book on Amazon and an independent title of my own choosing. This week is Bestseller Week, and we're reviewing Divergent by Veronica Roth. As always, spoiler alert. Divergent is a dystopian young adult novel about a futuristic society divided into 5 factions. The novel follows the story of Beatrice, a young girl in the abnegation faction who has spent her whole life suppressing all ego. Like all people in her society, at the age of 16, Beatrice must elect to remain with her faction or abandon it forever. She elects to leave her family and join the Dauntless faction, the warrior caste of society that prizes bravery above all else. Divergent really felt like it was trying to be the Hunger Games, so it's very difficult to review without taking that comparison into consideration. The factions in Divergent felt very much like the districts in the Hunger Games. They're both isolated communities of people with different roles in society, but despite their limited contact, seem to kind of know all about each other. While the society of Panem seems so realistic it's almost inevitable, the social construction in Divergent came off as laughably implausible. Like no one foresaw any problem with forcing angsty 16-year-olds to choose their life path and stick with it no matter what. What if nobody picks abnegation for a generation? All of a sudden, you've got no doctors and the world sucks. Also, this entire society seems predicated on the belief that every human being has one dominant personality trait and that will never change, either on a permanent or on like a day-to-day basis. If somebody decides to be brave and selfless by rescuing a baby that's about to be hit by a truck, Divergent! I mean, Dauntless initiates must just spend all day chasing schizophrenic people through the streets and shooting guns at them. In the Hunger Games, Katniss's stoicism and taciturn demeanor have a very strong explanation in her backstory, and throughout the entire course of the book, she has a driving purpose to return to her family and keep them safe. Beatrice seems listless. She wants to join the Dauntless faction because of reasons, I guess, because she saw them jumping off of trains. My point is, it's not very well explained. Once Beatrice is within the Dauntless faction, she finds out that anyone who doesn't pass their version of boot camp is kicked out and forced to be factionless. While this was supposed to raise the stakes, it actually just made me hate her a little bit. I no longer get to be among the ruling elite class of society? Oh, I'd rather die! After that, the book devolves into kids beating the ever-living crap out of each other for page after page after page. The violence leaves nothing to the imagination and comes off as gratuitous. The teenage characters had this annoying habit of erupting with lines of philosophy that were completely inconsistent with their general dialogue. I've never encountered a 16-year-old girl who was told that she was fat in high school and responded with, "I despise what you say, and yet I will defend to the death your right to say it." Let's talk romantic subplot. Beatrice's romance was annoying to me. I mean, she doesn't seem to recognize that she's obsessed with her trainer, Four. Yes, his name is Four. She's looking at him all the time, and she doesn't know why. She's thinking about him all the time, but she doesn't know why. Really, Beatrice? Really? You don't know why? It's not because your teenage hormones are making you want to mash your face parts into his face parts? Now, near the end of the book, Beatrice's mother reappears, and she turns out to have been dauntless in her youth. She immediately sacrifices her own life so that Beatrice can escape, which seems like a nice and loving gesture, but then you realize that she did it 10 feet away from where Beatrice was standing and could totally have just gone with her, meaning that the whole sacrifice was completely pointless. In terms of writing style and story construction, Divergent did not blow me away. Too many characters were thrown at us too quickly, making it difficult to track with who was who. And I found many examples of typos or poor sentence structure, which is like completely annoying in any book, but really annoying in a traditionally published bestseller. Now, in general, however, I must say that Roth knows how to describe a scene. Every place that she told me about came alive in my imagination. There were several action sequences that either had me sitting there smiling or left me quite literally breathless. Divergent, therefore, has moments of excitement and levity that take us out of the doldrums that the rest of the very dystopian novel tends to plunge us into. In summary, I give Divergent 3.5 stars out of 5. While it has some great action sequences and is fairly well written, the character motivation, plot, and world building left me unsatisfied. Thank you for watching 5 Minute Books. You can purchase this novel if you so desire by clicking on that graphic, which will take you to the Amazon bookstore via an affiliate link that helps fund the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see future reviews and other book-related goodness every day of the week, and we'll see you next time.